Black Donnellys. Just the name sends shivers down your spine, eh? This infamous family met a gruesome end in Ontario. But their story starts in Tipperary, Ireland. Times were tough during the Great Famine. The Donnellys were just trying to survive. They carried their struggles to Canada, settling in Lucan, Ontario, on the Roman line. Little did they know more hardships awaited.
Now, you can't talk about the Black Donnellys without mentioning the Breen family. These two families, they were like oil and water. Their feud was the stuff of legends, filled with land disputes, violence, and a whole lot of bad blood. See, back then, land was everything. It represented your livelihood, your future. And when two families were vying for the same piece of land, well, let's just say things could get ugly.
But this wasn't just a simple land dispute. Oh no, this one had a whole other layer to it. The Breens, you see, were members of the Orange Lodge. This wasn't just any social club. The Orange Order, a Protestant fraternal organization, held a lot of power in those days. They were known for their staunch Protestant beliefs and, let's just say, a certain distrust of Catholics. So you can imagine the tension when you had the Catholic Donnellys going up against the Protestant Breens, with the Orange Lodge looming in the background.
And if that wasn't enough, the Donnellys had the audacity, the nerve to start a successful stagecoach line. Can you believe it? They were taking business away from people who didn't take kindly to competition, especially from the likes of the Donnellys. The resentment grew, simmering beneath the surface like a pot about to boil over. And boy, did it ever boil over.
Now, in any good story, you need a little mystery, a character that keeps you guessing. And in the saga of the Black Donnellys, that character is Paddy Whalen. Who was Paddy Whalen, you ask? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? He was a local man, that much we know. But his exact role in the Donnelly tragedy, well, that's still up for debate. Some say he was a nobody, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Others whisper that he was a police informant, feeding information about the Donnellys to those who wanted to see them silenced. And then there are those who believe he was an agent provocateur, deliberately stirring up trouble, pushing the Donnellys closer and closer to the edge.
The truth? Well, like so much else about the Black Donnellys, it's lost to history. But one thing's for sure, Paddy Whalen, whether he was a pawn or a player, adds another layer of intrigue to this already tangled web. He's a ghost that haunts the story, a reminder that some secrets are better left buried, or are they?
The night of February 4th, 1880, will forever be stained with the blood of the Black Donnellys. A mob, fueled by hatred and vengeance, descended upon their homestead, leaving a trail of death and destruction. 5 members of the Donnelly family, brutally murdered in cold blood. The crime shocked the nation, but what followed was perhaps even more disturbing. The investigation, if you can even call it that, was a sham. Witnesses were intimidated, evidence disappeared, and those in power seemed content to sweep the whole thing under the rug. There were whispers of a cover-up, allegations of police misconduct, and a growing suspicion that justice would never be served. And you know what? It wasn't. No one was ever held accountable for the murders of the Black Donnellys.
So what really happened that night? Was it a spontaneous act of violence or a carefully orchestrated hit? And what about the Orange Lodge? To what extent were they involved? These questions linger, unanswered, a testament to the dark side of human nature and the even darker side of power. The story of the Black Donnellys is a stark reminder that sometimes the bad guys win and the truth remains buried, along with the victims.